So what's the one phrase that you say every day in your job?
I've got two, maybe three pairs. The first one is there's no communication. No, there's no co-parenting without communication. So the C and C, they have to go together. Okay. And the second one, where I kind of maybe threaten the parties, I'll say that I give you, in my court, I give you a rope. It's either you hang yourself with it or you take yourself out of that mess. Okay. You pull yourself out of it. So it's two things. And they kind of work because they get it eventually somehow. So the two phrases.
Okay.
And then the third one is I'm here for the kids. I'm here for the babies. Those are three things. So, yeah.
That is our guest for today on Conversations with Eminent Women. If you missed it, she spoke about court, which means she's a magistrate or she's within the court space. In this instance, she is a magistrate in the children's court at the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court, and none other than Magistrate Katlego Mokoena, joining us today on Conversations with Eminent Women. Hi, and welcome to this conversation. My name is Tsegohajo Moagi. So, Magistrate, thank you for your time this morning. Truly appreciate it. Let us just speak as to let's start there, right? The last phrase that you said, that your love and, you are just there for the children. That's where your passion really lies. How did you even get into children's court?
A simple thing, rotation. I think it's not the first time you meet me, Tsiko, You know me. We met, I was in the criminal court, so rotation, obviously, then they place you move you around so you can have exposure to other things, other cases. So then I found myself in the children's court, loving it, loving it, challenging, draining, strenuous, because you work with personalities, you work with parties, you work with people. You can't have a boxed, one-minded trajectory vision. Work with different characters, different situations, scenarios. But at the end of the day, it's all for the kids. I mean, we're there to protect the children of whatever happens. It's like you are stretched to the limit in terms of how do you protect the child when they're in a very compromised position or threatening harmful environment, and you have to make the decision of what you do with the child. For example, I'll give an example of for a father coming to court saying, you know what, I want my access rights, but this is my situation, all that. And then the mother says, no, you can't, based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the decision lies on you on what you do, what's in the best interest of the child. Because at the end of the day, we follow the Constitution, Section 28, Everything we do, it must be for the best interest of the child. So yeah, that's how I found myself in the children's court.
What do you prefer, children's court or criminal or civil?
You're asking me a hard question, eh? To be honest, I thought criminal was my first love until I went to civil, and then I was like, wow, so this is what I was missing this out,
Yeah.
Then I went to children's court. Children's court is, I think, the whole being of being sociable with people, with every man on the street. But my first love, I love civil. I really do love civil. I love the different types of aspects of law that you come across with there. But right now, I think because I'm there, that should be my first love, but I prefer civil. I do.
You've presided over some big cases, right? That's how you and I actually met. I think it was the Flavio case that you and I were doing together. It was something else.
It was something else.
It was something
remember,
else.
Yeah.
But then you've also done Pastor Mboro's case as well. How do you handle the media pressure?
And funny enough, those cases that had media in it, I didn't know that there was media up until I walked into the courtroom.
Oh, boy.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Particularly the recent one, the Borough case. I didn't know. I just walked into court no, please go. Your colleague is not here. Please go do the bail. I can't do the bail, whatever the case is. So I was very confused. So when I walked in, I saw media. I was like, oh, okay, taken aback. But I guess I got the exercise when I did the other case that you were, I think, a reporter on. And it's okay. The pressure with the recent one, I think the pressure was more, it was a lot because everything, all eyes on you. Then there's this prominent pastor, and then there's the court is full to the brim with this congregation. And then it's like you decide, this is our spiritual leader. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with him? So it was more hard in that case. And I think what was even more worse when there was the recuse application that came forth after I denied him bail. That was hard because my name was just everywhere. But then I handled it. Like, let me just do my job, do what I need to do, follow the law, and I should be fine. So the media pressure, I'm not going to lie, it was It was a bit daunting, but we persevere, we move.
How do
know.
you then walk into the courtroom and that's when you find out? Because most times as journalists, we are told that we need to apply.
We apply, yes.
Yes.
That was applied before the previous magistrate. So I just walked in because the
Okay.
application was granted. I couldn't like reverse it or not. I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. That media aspect is done. So then I walked in. I'm like, oh, okay, there's media here, and that's rock and roll. But I guess you just was the normal court proceedings. Just that the cameras are on, people are watching you. You know, then you get out, your phone is like buzzing. Ah, so you're on TV. But yeah, that's that.
Let's take a lot of steps back, right, to who Katlego Mokoena is, where you were born, and was this something that you've always wanted to do?
Sure. My story is very interesting, Tseho. Like it's Katlego is a girl from the Val. Val Triangle. They call it 18. You know,
Yes.
Tadiana. I'm from the Val Triangle, born and bred there. Katlego is a very dynamic, fun individual. A lot of people, when they see me outside of work, they get so shocked. Like, are you really a magistrate? Like, Wena, you know? Very fun, very always seeking for answers. And I love people. I think that's why I was positioned to be in this job. I was born in the Val, grew up there, went to school. My alma mater is Wits University. I studied law there, and I didn't say I wanted to become a magistrate or a judicial officer. All I know that at some point I would want to become a judge, but we'll see. The reason why studying law was not my first passion.
Okay.
I was forced to study law because I sucked in maths. I was very terrible. I think I got an E.
Oh, wow.
Back then for maths standard grade.
Standard grade, man.
Standard grade. That's how bad it was. And I was the happiest. Like, oh my gosh, at least I'm gonna get my exemption. It's okay. You know, it's fine. I go to varsity. So then I'm like, no, I need to decide. I'm not good with numbers, but I love reading. Like reading is my thing. Like I love reading. That's that. So, you know, it's just research for an LLB. And I think the push behind that, or the force behind that, my uncle is an advocate. So, you know, when you're an advocate, you're like, this person in the family functions, like, hey, you know, he's respected. And I'm like, I know, Lena, I want that same respect, you know. So what do you do? Like, I don't know, just study law. Like, just do it. Okay, so like, okay, I'm not good with maths, do law. Let's try it out, let's see. So I tried it out, went there, pushed. Come end of your degree, you're like, okay, so what do I want to do? I don't know, you know, I want to go to the big firms and big law firms, the big ones in Santon or whatnot. But I felt like, hey, you know what, maybe I'm not too good for it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I like criminal law. I mean, I was a criminal law tutor as well. So I like criminal law. Let's go the MPA route, you know. Katlego, you want to serve the community, right? No problem. So started there. I'm like, I'm going to apply for the aspirant prosecutor program. So I applied. Fortunately, they took me. I went did the exam, got in. I started being a prosecutor. Prosecuting, not bad. I loved it. Okay, no problem. Go about it. So, but then now there's this thing in the legal space that once you study law, you need to either decide whether you want to become an attorney or an advocate. You need to get admitted as an attorney, one of the two. So it's that thing of you have to somehow do your articles or you have to somehow do your pupillage. So, you know, you have to be complete somehow.
Yeah.
You can't just study an LLB and then not be complete.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I went through, did my prosecution, became a prosecutor, pushed. And then that bug just came like, you know what, go do your articles. Because, you know, you're in the regional, you're prosecuting the regional court now, you're doing serious cases. Go do your articles. So where do I go do articles? I then go back. I'm like, you know what, I need to go back home. Where did I start? Back home. So I resigned everything from Johannesburg, moved back to the Val, back home. Like, let me go serve my community. That's when I did my articles at Legal Aid, South Africa.
Okay.
Did my articles there, got admitted, qualified and everything. Then I was done. I'm like, okay, now you are done with that. What's the next step, Katlego? Because I'm always so searching. Like, I want, you know, I'm a curious person. I'm like, okay, fine. Now you're an attorney. You've done your articles. You're admitted as an attorney now. Take the plunge. Open your own practice.
Okay.
So I took up my colleague that I was working with, I did articles with, Miss Lamini, and we were like, let's just do it. Females in this space, we've got nothing to lose anyway. Let's see how it goes. And it went well. It's tough, difficult, because at the end of the legal profession is male-dominated. You know, it's a big boys' club. You know, so, but we persevered, we pushed up until I went to Randburg Magistrate Court, and then my previous magistrate, who was appearing for as a prosecutor, was like, "Don't you want to come to the bench?" So I'm like, I don't know. It's like, no, don't you want to come to the bench? Just come and see how it feels, you know? I'm like, okay, no, cool, like, give it a shot. Like, yeah, just give us a CV, let's see. So then that's how I found myself at the bench.
Wow.
So I come to the bench, did my CV, like, okay, no, fine, you come and act, you get the job to come and act. So I was in Protea, I think that's where I met you, in Protea, Soweto. I started acting as a magistrate until I got my permanent appointment, then I came to Palm Ridge.
Sure.
So I think I've walked the journey. I literally, people said, but then you know you've done everything. Like
Yes.
you've defended, you've prosecuted, you've decided. Now you're deciding cases. So yeah, that's how I find myself.
That's quite the journey, right?
It's a journey. I didn't foresee that it would be like this. Yes, but the big idea is becoming a judge one day. You know. But yeah, so I never thought that I'd walk through this journey. That's how you're gonna traverse this whole thing, and then you find yourself. Yeah. So,
and I'm glad that you spoke about the legal space being very male dominated. How do you think you've been able to navigate that one? But even now, as a magistrate, we still don't find that many female magistrates in the courts.
I think with the biggest shift and advantage is now we have a female chief justice. I think that's the biggest. Oh, that's a big compliment, and it's a big progress. It's true. I mean, even if you look at practicing attorneys, there's not a lot of female. They are there, but they're not many. For example, even advocates who are being briefed, not a lot of female advocates who we see, like, these prominent legal cases. You don't see a lot of female cases. So it's still, we're catching up. The progress has been good. How has it been? How have I navigated it? It's been tough because, sometimes you feel that there'll be times when I was an attorney where you are appearing with your colleagues, and then they are males, and you're the only female. Magistrates judicial officers will rather hear out the male more than the woman. And then the same thing, like, but you studied the same law. And you find yourself in cases where, I remember that this one case where it was me and 4 colleagues who were attorneys. And I think I was representing accused number 4. So as a trial proceeds, you always the third, the last one to ask questions and whatnot. And then I had this situation where the male attorney was like, started everything questioning. Then the magistrate was like, you know what, I'm going to stand this matter down. I think you need to speak to your colleagues who know these things that is done. So it's like the thing of, okay, no, fine, whatnot. And then like, okay, no, go about it this way, that way. Or actually, what, let me help you out. So that thing of you will be undermined, but then we all do the same law. We studied the same law. We are admitted, we read the same board exam, So it's just, I think reminding oneself that why you're here, why you're doing it, you're not doing it for anyone else but your client or the parties in question, So it's been hard because you get there's companies where they prefer male attorneys, not over a thing. You find that you're representing a person accused of rape, for example. The client will tell the accused person, ask, but then says, when are you going to help me because you're a woman? You're going to believe me, So the thing of like, no, I follow, I'm a creature of instructions. Tell me what I need to do. What is your defense, what not? And we'll see the work best of our ability, So you have to divorce yourself from certain things. Our job, the legal space, it's not anymore, you can't be emotional. You need to detach and just do your job. You're a creature of instructions. Decide what you need to decide if you're a presiding officer. If you're a practicing legal practitioner, you just go by it, about it, yeah.
Now, I get you, right? And I get the part that you have to separate yourself. But let's talk about the judgment part, not you on the bench. As an attorney or as a prosecutor or as a defense lawyer or advocate, right? Is there a point where, and I know this might sound very odd, where you actually judge your client, especially if you're defending someone? Is there a point where you judge them and you're like, but no, it's
part of the job, because you hear your client. Your client says, okay, fine, look, I did it, ne? But we need to find a way out of this. It's like you can't lie to the court. You work with the evidence that's before you. And then obviously you question, like, but now what are you doing? Like, so what's the tragedy? You don't have a defense. And let's look at the evidence before you. This is your defense. What is your defense? No, but my defense is this and then that. Okay, I'm gonna put it to the court. The court will therefore decide. But it's not gonna go straight. You advise. It's not gonna go well for you, or this is what we're looking at, or whatnot. But then clients are clients. They will say, let's proceed, let's do it, or whatever the case is. We'll see what we get. We don't, people say lawyers, they lie. We don't lie. We are creatures of instructions. You tell me what to do. If it's above the law, it's above the law. If it's not, I will tell you. Then I cannot, execute a mandate that's illegal or whatever, unlawful, So you separate yourself. You find, for example, rape cases. I don't like doing rape cases, but then it's my job. I need to do it. So you know that, okay, fine, your client has done this thing, very horrible, atrocious crime, and then you know that they're guilty. You know that they've done it, and then the evidence comes before the court. You have to defend. Evidence comes before this court, and then you somehow win. You know that a guilty person gets let go because of the evidence was not 100%. Or the witnesses were not 100%, they don't testify openly. And then you feel guilty because, I've let someone who's done something wrong, but then legally they were not convicted or found guilty. So, so if you are human, the conscience stays there. And obviously, I would sometimes tell my clients off, you know what, you know what you did. Seek help, man. Seek help, you're right, but then you know what you did. Obviously, the law could not find you guilty, but you know what you did. So if you're human, you carry that, your conscience. Your conscience is there. It rings, it's there or sitting behind you, it's on back of your mind. But they say it's each job,
Exactly.
Each job. To wake up, you push, and yeah.
And on the bench, has there been a case that still haunts you to this day that you've made judgment on?
Many. Good and bad, Maybe many. I think criminal, civil is civil. Civil is money, civil is what, it is. Criminal, when you know that, when you presented, obviously as on the bench, I have to look at the evidence before me. And when you know that deep down that this person has done it, but then you cannot, in the criminal, the standard for the criminal cases is beyond a reasonable doubt. The moment you have doubt, you have to acquit. But in as much as you know that this person has done it, but there's certain factors they're saying, no, but the moment you have that but and that doubt, that lingering doubt, you just have to acquit. So there have been emotional cases. Where I felt good, where I felt that, what, justice has been done. There was a case where I dealt with the criminal court of sisters, where one sister had stabbed the other sister with the bone, with the meat bone.
What?
With the bone in the eye. She lost her sight, Another thing of dividing families, because families are all there, Now you're dividing families are not there. So it's heavy, because at the end of the day, your life, that thing of deciding over someone's life, it's very hard. It's very, very hard. They say, Spider-Man says, what? With greater power comes greater responsibilities. I live that every day. It's part of the job. So it's strenuous. For example, removing a child from parents who cannot take care of the child, it's painful. The child is like, I know this is my environment, and then you're removing me from this source of, connection and well-being. But then the well-being is somehow also affecting you, but it's not good. It's heavy. You get cases where mothers, they leave children at hospital after giving birth, and then this child has nowhere to go. They come in we need to remove this child, place them in a foster care home, whatever, for adoption. Those things, they take a toll. So it's emotional. It's hard because you're human at the end of the day. You're dealing with humans at the end of the day. It's hard to divorce oneself, but then also applying evidence, but it's hard to divorce oneself because you stress. You'll be like, oh, it's Monday, I've got that case that's coming. What am I going to do with the child? You've got kids who have behavioral issues, and then you have to step in and see how best you help this child. So yeah, it's hard.
How do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it?
At the end of the day?
We carry. I always believe that you don't leave work home. You don't leave work at work. For me, I don't believe that's true, because you carry it. And people close to me, most say that, hey, your job has shaped you. Ever since also you've been in the children's court, you've changed, man. Because you've gone to more empathetic and sympathetic. You're more connected with your feelings. How do I carry it? It's how do I deal with it?
Do you cry?
Can't say I cry. You know, you cry. I mean, cry on the bench. It happens all the time because of, because of the personal situation that you deal with. How do you deal with it? You cry about it. You try to space out. You try to do something different, get home. But it lingers with you because, I've got kids myself. I'm thinking like, oh, what if it was me? What would I do in that situation, whatnot? Deal with it differently. I can't say I drink. No, I don't drink. I don't think. Yes, I like socializing to park the issues, but that's how you deal with it. You just go through it. You just have to work through it, crying, emotional about it. Sometimes you find yourself typing a judgment and you're emotional, but that's just it's part of the job. We deal with sensitive information in the children's court. It's not easy. It can never be easy. You know, that's why I think it takes a certain type of character to be placed in the children's court. I'm not saying that you must have kids to be in the children's court. No, it just takes a certain type of character and the understanding the society that you serve. I mean, we're in a location basically, primarily. You know, the burbs are up there in the north, so you just need to understand that me as a black person, we see, because understanding black people's struggles. I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know what, I understand black people's problems and struggles. This is why things are happening like this. So it takes a special type of individual to sit in the children's court, to understand that this is the people that you work with. This is the people how you navigate, how you understand why there's a family home, why there's 8 kids of aunties and uncles, they're fighting over a house, there's this and that, you know. You need to understand that, you know what, these are black people's struggles, what we deal with on a daily. You know, unemployment, abuse, and all those things, socioeconomic problems. So, yeah.
It's been quite the journey for you, right? To also then get to the children's court and for you to then thoroughly enjoy it so much. We have seen some really negative publicity when it comes to the judicial system. What do you as a magistrate make of where we're at as a country and the judiciary?
The whole thing of it, the judiciary is captured.
Yes.
You know, I think it stems from a lot of not understanding court processes.
Okay.
I'll give an example. I'll just shift it a bit. There's this narrative that the children's court is for mothers. Okay. The children's court is against fathers. There's that narrative, like the children's court is against fathers. Fathers, they never win in that court, because even worse, when you see a female magistrate sitting there, I forget into one, you're not gonna go far. You know, it's not understanding the processes of our legal system. People will say, no, the judiciary is captured. I think it serves whatever they're trying to perpetuate, what they're trying to pursue, but that's not the case. At the end of the day, Section 165 of the Constitution, we're independent. We're independent, we sit there, we decide cases. No one can interview with my judicial discretion. So when someone comes and says that, nah, but the judiciary is captured, I'm not going to get favored, not. Maybe you're speaking from a personal experience, maybe you had an unfortunate experience, but that's not the case. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's what is transpiring. Yes, the perception might be that, but I think it's incorrect, 100%. And for us as judicial officers to change it, I think it's just to teach. Every day is a teaching experience for anyone. We teach on the bench, in as much as also we learn from opposing counsels, opposing attorneys, whatever, from people who appear before us. It's a learnable, it's a teachable environment where we all learn from each other. So people are pushing their own narrative of why they say things like that, but I just think just the lack of not understanding the legal processes. Because once you're in it and get it, understand, and it's also emotionally based and attached, you know, because at the end of the day, we look at the evidence, we look at the law, what the law says. It might not be favorable to you, but that's what the law says, and we have to go by it, you know, so yeah.
How often do you have to remind people of that you are following the law, that there's no favoritism of one party to the other?
Every day.
Sure.
Every day. But what's nice in the children's court is it goes back to them, because it's your conduct that has led us here. I think for any case, any law section, you've brought us here. This is what the law says, and this is what your conduct has done. So you need to understand that this is what you've done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong, incorrectly. So you should have done correctly, but that's what the law says. I don't know if I'm a creature of statute. I need to abide by what the law says. And one thing that's always our mantra in the children's court is Section 28, the best interest of the child. Whatever you've done, whatever that I need to decide on, it has to be in the best interest of this child. If it's not in the best interest, then I'm subject for review and appeal and all those things, you know. So it's easier when you inform people in their own language that, you know what, let me explain this to you, that how the law must follow suit here and not the way you perceive things to be. And you know what? We might undermine people and underestimate people. Humans get it. They're like, okay, you know what? I understand why it didn't go my way. I kind of get it. I've got questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why in the children's court I provide an environment where you must ask questions as the participating party or whatever, the party that's litigating. Ask questions that you fully, thoroughly understand and understand why I've come to this decision. Might be unfavorable to you, but you need to get it. You'll be emotional, you'll be reactionary. I mean, you'll cuss the magistrate, you'll, hey, speak ill, you know, but imbow, whatever, you know. But once I get you to understand that things didn't go your way this way, or they've gone your way this way, they get it. They get it. They really do get it.
Have you had threats on your life before?
I have.
What?
I have. The last, actually, interesting enough, last year, the last one was from a gogo who said that, I even said that, yo, gogo one lawyer vele vele serious right now. she cursed me. She cursed me very badly, saying that I won't get far, whatever the case is. I've had threats. You've had threats. I've had threats where, you know, parties will fight in the court, wanted to assault. He wanted to assault you. Hey, stop the person, whatnot. So yes, I have received, but people are emotional. You take it in your stride. It's not right, obviously, but yeah. So yeah, that one, the recent one was really like, yo, Gogo, so seriously gonna, because she was like, yeah, no. Even that child that you're taking away from me, the child will never succeed, whatever. Because removing the child from her back to the parents. She was benefiting through foster care illegally.
Okay.
So she was not happy about that. That we caught you out what you were doing, and then so she cursed me, shame.
I'm sorry.
She cursed me.
So how do you then handle it, especially in your courtroom?
We always say you must take time out. You don't become. There's always this thing of you need to regulate your emotions. Once you learn how to regulate your emotions, you tend to be in control of anything, even in the other people that you learn about. So you take time out. If you're pissed off, you take time out, stand up, you get out. You leave the court. I mean, in the criminal court, I've had incidents where, yes, parties will literally, witnesses or attorney will really rile me up. You know, be like, no, I'm going to stand the matter down. Let me just have a 5 minutes breather and then walk back in. Or call the parties into chambers, like, let's discuss it, what's the issue, whatever the case is. You know, I avoid conflict in as much as I can, but obviously you will find conflict because we're humans at the end of the day. We are lawyers. We agree to disagree in any event. My view can never be your view. You know, so that's how you regulate one's emotions. Do you lose it on the bench? You lose it. Do you cry over the bench? You cry. I've cried on the bench, literally tears, crying. Like, okay, 5 minutes, guys, let's adjourn. But not, you take it from there.
You're one of the few magistrates, black magistrates in the country, if I'm not mistaken. Do you find that there's pressure on you because of your skin complexion specifically? Because you're black?
I like the fact that we're moving we're redressing what was in the past.
Yeah.
Not really. I think as a practitioner, it's pressure because you are not only black, you're also female. So you have to do 10 times what your male counterpart is doing. On the bench, it's different because we're all coming up. They're fixing what was incorrect. So the pressure, it's not that much because at the end of the day, I'm a presiding officer. I just have to deliver judgment. That's my core function, right? Just to deliver judgments, decide on cases. So there's not much pressure. There's pressure, I believe. I think maybe I speak for people who are practicing that as a black female practitioner, then it's harder because you're working against the white system. Number two, then you're working against the thing of I'm a female, I need to fight my way. You know, so the legal profession is it's male dominated. So those are things. So that's where the pressure is. But on the bench, no, not really.
Have you had fellow legal practitioners come to you and ask maybe for advice, first of all, with a particular case, but also how do you handle, the situations that you find yourself in?
I've got a couple. I do. I have. I also mentor university students as well, who are studying. So I also mentor them. I have, and it's just also advising from my personal experiences. Yes, they'll come and say, yo, you know what, your colleague lambasted me on the bench, what not to do for. Okay, so what did you do? Okay, no, this is how did you go about solving it? Okay, now I would say that you must do this, do that, you know, and put everything on record, and don't be competitive, you know, don't fight. Yes, there's a lot of colleagues even who are in senior position who come and say, look, what would you go about to certain things, whatnot. In a sister, I always have this thing of, I have an open door policy. I think even on social media, you may see social media, my DMs, people ask questions, they DM or no, I'll assist you. Like, no, I'll assist you for time, I'll help you out and whatnot. So I always have this thing of teach people what you impart, they also give it to other people. So with what I know, you will teach me whatever you will teach me. You return with what you know. Okay, no, I've heard about this. Then I'll teach you. Then I'll know you impart. Because they say as you rise, you must always pull up. You know, you don't just rise alone and think. So I think that's how I always strive to. I help. You know, if you help, I need this help, this thing. And I think I always say that my DMs will speak for themselves, because when people do ask, like, what do you do with this and that? What do you do with most students, you know, practicing attorneys and all that. So that's how I go about it.
Let's talk about that social media presence. You are quite active on the social media streets, right?
Down, eh? On those streets.
Yeah, you're very active there, right?
I am. I think, look, you know what, it's one thing that makes me human. So, I mean, at the end of the day, before I become a magistrate, I'm a human. I'm a citizen of this country. I get affected by things that are happening in this world, things that are happening in this country. You know, yes, we have an opinion about certain things. Obviously, it requires necessary restraint. I can't comment on everything because I hold public office. But I think it also gives a feel of I'm human. Even people, like, when they engage with me, like, yeah, you hold this position, but then end of the day, you're human. You laugh at the regular jokes that that we laugh at, you know, because obviously your profession is more of a lonely profession. You're on your own, whatnot. So I think for me, it's how I detach, like detach from what I do, and literally I'm human. Obviously, you have to exercise restraint. You can't have an opinion, or if you have an opinion, you don't have to say it out loud. Yeah, you don't have to be controversial about it. So yeah, and I think I've done well. But at some point, Shem, I must disengage at some point completely.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I think the professional ethics of it all as well maybe require that you can't be seen there, you know. But yeah, but at the same time, it's like, but then you go that route, which means that you can't go out. You can't see you at clubs. You can't see you at parties, social clubs, social places, you know. So yeah, but you know, it's a nice cutoff. Social media for me, it's a nice, let me space out, let me see what's happening. And particularly that platform, like Shemi, I'm mostly there. You find me there because, like, you know, you engage, you see you see people's views. So yeah.
Okay, so let's then shift a little bit. You did mention that you're a mother, and I don't want to say balancing things out, but how do you organize your life that it all links up and that it's all intertwined, but that it all makes sense? Yes, it's all in sync.
Sure, I think for any mother, being a mother is hard. Like it's not. It's the best job. Like, it's priceless. I think right now I'm glad that my kids are a bit older, because it's easier not to navigate, because they're adults now. They are their own people. They're not adults, but they're coming into shape to becoming adults. They're still young kids. Support structure. I think for anyone, for any mother in any field, support structure. Once you have that support structure, you can do anything, you can thrive. And I think if you're not operating or working in a toxic work environment, you end up, because if you work in a toxic work environment, you take that home. People at home, they get affected by it. So how I manage everything else is making my kids understand what I do every day. And they understand what you do every day. They understand how exhausting it is, how taxing it is. How sometimes they find me working on the weekend, writing a judgment, they don't understand. Like, but it's our time, you're working. So I've made them understand that this is how we are going to navigate this part of life right now. So then they understand that, the supportive structure. If you're a supportive partner, supportive family structure, where there's the way they can lend help. I can't go there, I can do that, I can't do that, or whatever the case is. So it's support. We survive on support, Seho, more than anything. I survive on support more than anything. Where I can say that, look, I'm going to run late, my friend, like, okay, no, I'll pitch in, I'll go pick up your kids for you. You know, my brother will come and say, no, I'll do that for you, whatever the case is. So it's support. I survive on support structure. And when that's removed, I don't think I'll be a sane person. I don't think I'll be more of a sane person to sit and decide cases, because that will be the stress. So yeah, I think for me, number one thing, support, having a supportive partner, support structure. That's how I've been surviving this journey.
Yeah. So of course, being a magistrate, like you say, people say that you sometimes you seem very uptight. Okay. Stiff. What do you do for fun?
Sure, what do I do for fun? A lot, eh? I've started liking golf. I like to start playing golf now. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, yeah. You know, start liking golf. Like, man, if this guys can do it, because we can also do it. So me and my friends started this golf thing. I like going out. And I think when people who know me that this is my profession, they see me like going out, like, oh, you here. So they think, so I like going out. And one thing that I like to do, that I don't like to tell people what I do. You know, find yourself in social circles and then they ask you, so what do you do? I shy away from that question. I really, really shy away from the question, because at the moment you say what you do, you then get perceived differently.
Yeah.
Like, I was engaging with you normally, and then now you find out what I do. Now you have to, I don't like that. I don't like being because some situation you find that you're not even placed on a pedestal. Like, why? I'm human. We're here together. We're chilling, we're relaxing, we're jiving, dancing, whatnot, whatever the case is. And then you find what I do. No, don't do that. So yeah, social, chilling, friends, spending time with my family, all that. Yeah, but like, yeah, man. Groove, man. I like fun. I like having fun. I like that. I like having fun. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I like having fun. Like,
that's really interesting.
People like, yo, Kat, like you. We see you like this. A lot of people like, but then are you really that? Because you don't look like it. Because you're such a sociable bubble. Bubbly person. So yeah.
So for your children, just take a step back for me. If they say to you, this is what they want to do, they also want to be in the judiciary, would you support, advise?
No.
Oh, not at all?
No.
Why not? You've traveled the journey.
I have traveled the journey, but then I don't want it for my kids, man. No.
Okay.
No. No. If they, you know what? You do what you want to do. I'm not going to limit whatever they want to do. If they say, I want to become a fashion designer, okay, what's the reasoning behind the course 1, 2, 3, 5? If they will say that I want to study law, my first question, anyone who studies law, I ask them, do you like to read? Do you like to read? Some say, like, no, I don't like to. Then you need to reconsider the decision, because the law requires you to be familiar with being lonely. Because it's a lonely profession. Even in practice, you practice years with colleagues and everything, but you find yourself, you most of the time you're alone. It's a lonely profession. So you need to understand that you need to navigate this thing alone. You need to love reading. So I wouldn't encourage my kids. I wouldn't. It's a lot of work, man. It's hard. I think maybe we can achieve soft life via easier means, not thingy. But if it's a passion, it's a passion. You work for it, you work hard for it, But I would not encourage my kids. Like, no. It's time consuming. It takes the time. I mean, they think practicing attorneys, practicing, advocates, attorneys, whatnot. You find yourself working. That time for family cuts short. I mean, for me as a presiding officer, writing judgments. You try to work during the weekends. You can't go to family engagements, whatnot, because you're typing judgments. You're busy. For any practicing legal professional, it cuts the time. So I don't think. You don't live, man. Yes, the rewards are good, but you don't enjoy life as you should be. So I would not encourage my kids to follow law, do law. No.
Okay. Have you ever had a legal practitioner in front of you, and you just were baffled at some of the things that they were saying?
Yes.
How do you handle such situations?
Yes. Even had bogus attorneys appear in front of you. You catch them in the act.
You've had bogus attorneys in front of you?
Bogus attorneys appear in front of you. Those who people say that they're attorneys, but they're not. You laugh. I had an incident last week, come to think of it. But it was a funny one. It's a more gentle one. Where this attorney appears before. I was sitting in the civil court. And they're like, Your Worship, I know you, but I know you from the streets. So everybody was all looked up like from the streets. So like, yeah, from the streets, worship. I'm like, which streets are you talking about? No, from that social media platform.
Oh my
I'm like,
word.
oh, okay. Yeah, so, it's a great pleasure to be appearing before you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I never thought you'd be like this in person. But I'm like, well, yes, I'm like this in person, but I'm working.
Yes.
So it's been, you get people who say dubious things, funny things, offensive things. Obviously, if it's not appropriate, obviously you can look at you're in contempt of court or not. But yeah, you have it. You just take it in your stride. You laugh about it. You get pissed off. You adjourn court. You call out the person. You reprimand them. It's one of those things. But you have it. I think people are humans. We wear gowns, but we are humans. We make mistakes. I had a practitioner who was saying, when he was questioning a witness, who said that akir, like, during like akir, I would say that I would tell the interpreter, like, no, interpret what akir is. Like, akir. So you get those things, man. Like, it's just bloopers here and there, but you go with it. You keep it moving, Zero.
You keep it moving. Have you ever had to say to someone that they're in contempt of court? And you keep them out
threatened,
of your
warned
courtroom?
them, but I've never. It has never escalated to that.
Okay.
I like to think I keep calm on the bench. There's this sentiment, there's the narrative of magistrates or judges are demigods. They believe that they're demigods, whatnot. So no, it has never escalated to that. Yes, I'll warn you. You'll be a witness. You'll be in contempt of court or in practitioner. Like, I think you should take some time out. I'm going to adjourn court now before things escalate very badly, whatnot. So rather you walk away from the situation, from the conflict, instead of confronting it head on. Unless I've never been in that situation of no. Yes, I've warned people, but I've not been like, you in contempt, whatever the case is, no.
What is one of the cases that has been really difficult for you? One or two, maybe, whether it's been civil, criminal, or in the children's court?
Mostly they come from the children's court.
Okay.
I think it's that court is so emotionally charged. It's very emotionally highly charged, where you find fathers begging for exes, crying, and being criminal. There are a few in criminal, because the question is it from a prosecutor perspective, or from an attorney's perspective, or from a magistrate's perspective? I think from a magistrate's perspective, the most daunting, challenging one must have been the Mboro case, the bail application. It was daunting because of, media attention. All eyes on you. What you're going to do? Whether you've done the right thing or not. But also children's court, because of the whole thing, it's an emotionally charged court. We come across a lot of sad, traumatizing cases. Yeah, so it's been. I could say children's court.
Okay. When we speak then about children's court, what do you think parents who need to be co-parenting, or just people that look after children, what do you think they are doing wrong in the country?
They don't communicate. That's why I will say that there's no co-parent without communication. There's a lot of things that create negative spaces because people don't communicate. A simple thing of, I am on my way to come pick up the child, to come pick up so-and-so. You blue tick, you don't respond, whatever the case is. It's communication. The thing, I think I preach it every day in that court, that there cannot be co-parenting without communication. And I believe that we've so technologically advanced that I prefer WhatsApp. I always tell them that my modes of communication in this court is either email or WhatsApp, because we get to see who's the problem parent with WhatsApp.
Sure.
We see who is the response, who's responsive, who's not, who doesn't want to engage. We see whether they've sent a voice note, they've to swear at the other party. We see they deleted it. We see all these things. We see the timestamping, everything. So I always say that communication, a lot of things happen because people do not communicate. A mother leaves their child at hospital after giving birth because they do not communicate, because they fear that, whatever the case is. So it's communication. If parties, baby mamas and baby daddies could just communicate, the world would be so much better.
I suppose it also goes with relationships.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I said that when you guys were in this relationship, you used to communicate, everything was fine. Now, you're co-parenting, Why can't you just communicate? And worse, you communicate about someone else, not even about your issues, about someone else. So communicating, and also parents they co-parenting out of spite.
Ooh.
It's rife. Like they do it. Like
Sure.
to spite you. I'm gonna co-parent out of spite. They do it. The thing of you're meant to pick up the child this weekend. You know that I'm going somewhere. It's your weekend, and I'm just gonna frustrate you. Co-parenting out of spite. So those are the two things. Children's court. If we can just balance those things in terms of being baby mama, baby daddy issues, it's communication. Communication and co-parenting. And also the kids, a child cannot co-parent themselves. You find parents, they do this thing. Tell your mother, I'll pick you up on Friday. Why must the child tell me that you're going to pick up the child on Friday? You must tell me that you're going to pick up the child. So you find that the child, therefore, then co-parents themselves. Daddy, mommy's going to come pick me up. So I discourage that a lot. Because people will be like, no, but then the child has their own phone, I can communicate. No. It runs with the parent first. And then the child will tell after. A child cannot co-parent themselves. It's impossible. I always tell them that. So those are the 3 things that I battle with, that I see. And once that is resolved, everybody's happy. So yeah.
What do you do to relax? You said you love to socialize, but if you're not with friends and family, what do you do to relax?
People will say I'm a nerd. I read judgments.
What?
I catch up. That's how you pass. I read books with judgments, and they say, your Netflixing, your documentaries. I like Netflixing. I watch documentaries, crime documentaries. They intrigue me, So I do that. I love cooking, space out, peace of mind as well. Like doing that, yeah. That's how I just log off. I'm learning how to crochet as well. So I'm thinking my brother, gave me that influence. I'm learning how to crochet. I find that it's a bit, it relaxes the mind. It's all good, yeah.
That is interesting.
Is it?
So we'll get something for winter. Thank you.
Maybe next year. So that's what I do for fun. I just relax and just space out. Instead of going out and socializing, that's what I do, yeah.
Okay. And what is next then? I know that we've spoken about you being a judge before, or maybe going towards that avenue still.
They say the world is an oyster, right? They say you decide what you want to do. What's the next step? So I'm a character that I get bored easily. Okay. Get very bored easily. Once I feel that I've served my time somewhere else, I move on to the next one. Because I'm always looking. I'm always trying to find answers. I think maybe it goes for anyone, that you find answers, you find what you want to do. Is it my passion to adjudicate cases? It is, because I think it's always been at the end of the day that the big picture is to become a judge. You see yourself, find myself sitting at Braamfontein Constitutional Court one day. That's the dream, right? But at the same time, there's also this yearning of go practice, go back to practice again. Okay. Go back to practice, go and help people, go help mothers, even if you join a non-profit organization, whatnot. That's also been it's a thing, but the big picture is becoming a judge one day. I don't know. They say a lot of the people who know me, they say, but then that's always been you, always known you from you, always being that, hey, Judge Judy, It's a dream, it's there, but it requires a lot of hard work. It requires studying further. I don't know about that because I'm too busy right now. I'm too stressed. I've got people's problems to deal with. But yeah, that's the dream, Seho.
Okay.
I think just contributing to society. It's always been my contribute to society, no matter how little, how great it is. Impact on someone else's life, positively though, Yeah.
You spoke earlier about education and the educating that you get, from those that are in front of you, but also that you teach, especially in children's court. Do you think that as South Africans we are well educated on the law, and what do you think there needs to change? Do I have to come into your courtroom to learn?
We're not. We're not. I think we need maybe more podcasts or more, I don't know, news channels to teach people about the law. And I know there's more Ilungelo Lako, there's what's those type of programs, whatnot. We're not. And I think the problem is a lot of people, they don't know their rights up until something happens to them. For example, you find that a family situation where someone dies, now they're fighting over a family house. then you find out that, oh, no, but then I've got the title deed, I've got the will says this and then that. Then once you get affected, like they don't know the law, like what is to be done, what is. For example, in the domestic violence court, harassment court, you find that they come apply for a protection order. Then when we as a magistrate we look at the case and we tell, but then this is not domestic violence. Then like, no, but then the police officers that must come here. Like no, you were meant to open an assault case, a theft case, a MITP case for you to come before you come to them. No, but they said I must come here. So there's a lot of relevant stakeholders who are not doing what they're meant to be doing. You know, they say, no, go to court, they'll sort it out. When you come here, when you had a legitimate criminal case, but then you're sitting in domestic violence court, and then we're like, we have to break your heart, like, but you're not meant to be here. This is the wrong forum for you to be at. So there has to be, from the grassroots level, that we need to teach. I think the Bill of Rights should be taught from primary school. You know, you're right, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution must be taught from primary school, already there. And then as you progress, let's understand the legal system on its own through high school. So that before one says, okay, I want to study law, now I know about Section 28, now I know about, you know, the rights to free speech, you know. I think so that from a foundational phase, we need to teach, because right now, one thing that's standing out, Seho, is that our country is highly litigious. Like, people are litigating now. Every day, this and that, and then people are going to court. People are seeing, are witnessing. Communities are looking at YouTube things. There's the commission of queries, left, right, and center. There's the Nkabinde inquiries, this, and that. People are learning that, okay, this is how the law functions. You know, there's the Senzomiwa trial. This is how the criminal trial runs and whatever functions. So people also, that's also a learning curve. People are also trying to understand how things are done as well. But we need to go from the beginning, from the grassroots people, from a young age. Let's expose young people to their rights, what they can do, what they cannot do, what is right, what is wrong. So yeah.
As a magistrate, for the young people that are coming into the legal profession, what would you say to them?
Have integrity. Integrity. You will get clients who would make you or lead you to think that you need to do something illegal. You must have integrity, first and foremost. I think integrity then goes up with having a reputation, because in this legal profession, your name is everything in the game. You see it with prominent legal practitioners who appear in these cases. Your name, your reputation. So start with having integrity. You need to have a passion for reading and passion for analyzing. You need to learn how to question, why is this wall gray? Would it have worked better if it was blue? Why is it not blue? So integrity and understanding that studying law is also shaping humanity. It's also making you human, because you understand another human and their problems in a different form, and you have to now contextualize it, exercise it, or fix the problem within the bounds of the law. So integrity and have humanity, those two things. I think anyone who's studying law and said, I want to become a lawyer, a judge, or maybe a legal researcher, have integrity. Because once you have integrity, you understand what is right and what is wrong. You understand that any instruction or any case that I'm going to do forth, what it requires. You know, that's once you have that, the world is your oyster, as they say. So yeah, have integrity and love the law, love humans, because that's you do something to help others, isn't it? To teach, yeah.
What is the kind of legacy that you'd like to leave behind? When you are done and dusted with law, what would you like people to remember about you?
That's hard, Zure. I thought about that. Like thinking like behind, like, oh, I'm dead now. Like, yeah.
Not even when you've passed on,
things,
just
like,
when you're done here.
When I'm done. In the legal, as a magistrate, in the way I'm at right now,
Yes.
I want to be remembered for that lady sitting on the bench, walked in my shoes, taught me the law, and I saw the lens. I saw my world in the legal lens. I want to be remembered for being an answer, like for being a solution to people's problems. like that person helped me, no matter what, no matter my class or my status or whatever the case is. I think maybe that's why a lot of people say that you're such a humble person, like you're such a humble person. It's just, I think it's also understanding humans. So I would like to be remembered for, she solved my problem. She's a problem solver. She brightened my day. Might be in a dull way. No, not in a dull way. It might be in a very uncomfortable way, in the sense of maybe I didn't get what I wanted as a final answer, but I've gotten to understand, and somehow it has bettered my world. I want to be remembered for that. We do a hard job. This job is very hard. People cry at your decision. People laugh. People get excited with the decision. But it's not about you as the person. It's about making society a better place. If I'm going to convict you for stealing cheese, send you to stealing cheese or stealing something, send you to a direct imprisonment, I'm removing you from society, because society does not require that. We don't need to be thriving with someone who's like this, who's raping kids, whatnot. So this decision, it's bettering the community. It's making the world a better place. So I want to be remembered for that. I want to be remembered for making spaces a better place, making homes a better place, because a decision was made by that lady there, and they've bettered my space. They've bettered my life choices. I always tell the kids in the children's court, people who are in high school, whatever, who are here, who also come, who have met us, they're like, you know what? You determine your own future. You walk your journey. The only thing that I can do, I can maybe give you the tools to do it. I can give you the advice for doing it. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. So I would like to remember for that, for making spaces better. Uncomfortable situations, better situations, even though, yes, fine, it's a win-win situation. But in the children's court, it's a bit different. I always say that there's no winners or losses here, winners or losers here. There is the best interest of the child that wins, not parties per se. We just find solutions. So I'd like to remember for that. I'd like to remember for making spaces more comfortable, more simpler, coming with a solution. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, man. I think humanity, man. Humanity is the core. The reason why you do certain things, you just think about, but what would the normal, regular street man on the street do? Because we have the same problems. So if you find that a mother who comes to court and say, I'm fostering these kids, I'm guarding these kids, I don't have money to go home.
Sure.
What do you do? I need foster care grant, things like that. So if you provide solutions and be remembered for making someone's lives easier, I want to be remembered for that.
Okay.
As hard as it can be. Yeah.
Simple. You. Thank you for your time.
Softness.
Very. Absolutely love it. Thank you. Appreciate you so much, and thank you for your time.
I still say I don't know why you chose me, but hey, I'm here.
And I still say, why not, ma'am?
Why not? Eh?
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madge. Magistrate Katlego Mokoena speaking to us today about her life and really showing a bit of a softer side to who she is. If you enjoyed this particular episode, remember to like and to subscribe. From myself, Tseho Moagi, have yourselves a lovely day and be kind and protect your peace. Bye-bye.